Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting. I don't know.
All right. Um, let's just double check, make sure there's no like crazy rules. When with is it all buildings are stone? Oh, ground level only. Okay, ground level only. Yada yada. Cool. Yeah, there's no mud as far as I know. So cool. All right. Well, without further ado, let's get weather. No weather change. I wanna. Oh, perfect. That's even better. All right. Uh, Rally phase. Nothing for me to rally. I don't want to deploy or anything either.
Oh boy. So
All right. No prep fire since I have nobody on board, and movement phase. So let's get this on the road. All right. First things first. One conscript squad. We'll move into was it G5 for one, FF5 for two, EE6 for three, and DD6 for four. Leader and conscript squad are going to move into GG5 for one, FF5 for two, EE6 for three, and DD5 for five. Let's get squads down here. I'm gonna have one squad move in. Yeah, squad will move in bypass for one, two, three, four. Bypass for one, two, oops, two, three, four. This stack is going to go CX. One, two in bypass. So they're like there. Three, four, five.
stop there.
Okay.
Just firing the machine gun.
Okay.
Assuming the crew has to decloak as well.
Yeah, whoever's performing the action has to decloak.
Range looks good. No hindrances.
Okay.
So four
Down two.
Four down two. Six. Normal morale.
Leader first. Leader's fine. Top squad breaks. Bottom squad or middle squad breaks, and that's it.
Okay.
That is 2Z.
That's a machine gun. Is there a fire lane, or is that something I have to do deliberately?
No, a fire lane has to be declared. For the machine gun, it's a rate of fire, but since you rolled a colored 6, it's not. It does not retain rate. It just gets a first fire, and that's it.
Okay.
The next group, or sorry, the leader and the squad that survived, they're gonna or survived, didn't break, are gonna continue into EE10. That's 7, and they will stay there. Next group is going to also CX. So it costs 1 as movement off board, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I would have given you hex grids had I quite thought that through. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's not an issue, honestly. Next group also goes CX, so they do 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down here, I will also have them. How much? 2. No, they will not CX. So, squad A, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the last guys will do 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And we'll fire on you.
With the MG? Or with somebody else?
With the other MG. Sorry. X6.
Okay. You'll probably have to draw the line. I think, I'm not sure if you have LOS.
It's showing me green.
That's strange because. What's my LOS tool? Not working here. Why is. I can pull up the other one, but not that one. It doesn't. So the problem is that you can't look through a hedge, right? It's supposed to be blocking line of sight. So I don't know why it's not. Oh, you know what? It's because the board doesn't have it. Watch, if you do V6.
There's something up with your PC. I think when you were loading these saves, because when I was playing around with these maps prior to this, line of sight was checking just fine.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, it was giving me all kinds of it was giving me all the hindrances and everything. In fact, that's how I realized that I hadn't set the time of year right, because it was still showing all the what are they, the orchards and the wheat fields that are covering those maps.
Yeah, I don't know why, because we're both on the
Okay.
latest version of ASL, so.
Do they still get first fire even though I can't fire?
Well, so for this one, we'll just say no. Just keep the concealment because the hindrance stuff. But
oh, just as a note, they did release 3.5. I don't know when it came out in the last couple days.
3.5, you mean Vassal 3.5? Gotcha.
Yep.
Did you update before this?
I did not know.
Okay, so I wonder if maybe that might fix it or whatever. Hey, we'll be ready for the next one, so not a big deal.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
But yeah, that's my move. So movement phase done.
No defensive fire.
Sounds good. Oops. Advancing fire. This group will shoot at AA6. It's leader directed, 4 up 3. And 2 up 3 versus everybody that's concealed. So that's a no.
Okay.
No other shots. Route phase, EE9, both of them will route into EE10. And that's it for my routes.
You know, I just realized, do concealed units count as known?
No.
Okay.
Advance phase. So, down here, I'm going to do. Is that even wise? Yeah, sure. That there, that there. These guys advance. These guys will advance. This guy's going to move down into the building. Over here, I will have one squad move into DD9. The rest.
Hold on 1 second, would you?
Sure.
So all these guys are conscripts?
Yes, with leaders. Well, for the most part, with leaders. Oh, yeah. No, I know exactly what you're going to point out.
Yeah, so all the movement factors are down by 1, right? They're all 3 movement factors unless they were stacked to the leader.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, no, just for future reference.
Yeah, no, we'll just.
No, it's cool. Go ahead. I'm fine with letting it play out. It's all right. Yeah.
That guy would have been in DD6, but he can make it back. And everybody on the far side was with the leader. These guys will advance there.
Yeah, it's weird because the Germans are conscripts as well. Usually, I guess you don't see that until what, 44, 45?
Yeah, I mean that's also mostly because I'm so used to not playing with conscripts or green that I forgot about it. Yeah, so that's it for advances. Take off the move. No CC. Concealment gains at the end of the turn. Cidex can see AA6. These guys aren't seen by anybody, so they will gain concealment. And I think that's it. Those
Yep.
guys can be seen. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Damn. It's also wrong side. Whatever.
Weather stays the same.
Hooray!
Have no one to rally.
I will attempt to rally both those squads. So top, bottom, nothing.
That's it for that phase. Give me 1 second. I need AFK for just a second.
Yep.
AA6 will fire at Y3.
Okay.
So 4 up 1, down 1.
No, that should just be 4.
Okay, flat 4.
Mm-hmm.
Normal morale.
Both break.
The squad at A6 will fire at those guys. They
Okay.
are half, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 flat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. That's it for advance fire. If you bypass a building, does the building block line of sight?
Depends on which side you bypass.
Okay. Unit U9 will bypass there for 1. Don't think that. I think this unit here is the only one that could have line of sight. And I think he's still blocked by the buildings, yeah?
String it. I'm pretty sure you're correct. Yeah, he's fine. If he gets to, yeah, when he gets to, so you can basically get to the vertex of T9, U9, and U10. But keep in mind that I could potentially see a different vertex on depending on where he moves.
He went to the woods for 3.
Yeah. So as you're going through the U10, T9, and T10, I would see that vertex. Okay.
I'm done with movement.
Okay. Defensive fire. 436 will shoot at AA6. It's 4 up 3 and 2 up 3 for the concealed units. It's a nope. Shooting at the same group, DD5, except it's 8 up 3. It will also not do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These guys will all do a giant fire group at AA5. They're at long range, so it's all halved. It's 2, 4, 8, 12. No negative modifiers, but it is a +3. That is also not going to do anything.
Wouldn't they get a negative modifier for being CX?
They get a positive, yeah. There's a +1, but
Oh, yeah.
so +4, but no effect anyways. Oh, that's it for defensive fire.
That's it for my advances.
Road phase. These guys in Y3 don't know. There's no known enemy units, so they route to X3. And that's it for my routes.
You know what? I already did my advances, so that was my fault. Should not have done those first.
Oh. Well, either way.
No close combat. And your turn.
Woohoo. That's fire. It's off. Take out perp stuff. Weather. 5 is a nothing. Rallies. I will attempt to rally one squad here. Wait, why do I have... Why is only one of these marked broken? Yeah, they're both broken. That's weird. One of the broken guys will attempt rally. That will do it. Over in EE10, they will attempt to rally. So top squad rallies, bottom squad does not. Prep fire. This stack, same shot there. It's 8 firepower up 3. And it's going to be 4 firepower against any concealed units. 8 on 8 normal morale check for non-concealed units. And it's a miss against anybody who's concealed.
Okay. Against the... Do I have to do MMCs first, or just top to bottom? Doesn't matter in this case.
Yeah, however, whatever your order is.
The crew breaks. Squad also breaks.
All right. What's the prep? Not worth it. Movement phase. W3, the I will have one guy assault moves into W4. And another. And last one will go from W3 to X3.
We will fire at that move.
Okay.
Fire group V6 and W7.
Okay.
So that's 12 halved.
Have twice. Because he's concealed. And but there's just a +1 for TM.
Yeah, but the other, it's not halved twice against the other units in Hex because they're not concealed.
Yeah, you're thinking of defensive fire phase. If you're shooting while my guy is moving, you only shoot the moving guy.
All right, so 2 of 1. Nothing. Okay.
One squad here. Or the only squad, I guess, technically. Sorry, I also have to take my CXs off. Since they didn't shoot. Just side note that these guys can't re-CX. This squad in EE10, though, does not have that limitation, so he will go CX. I think he's at 5 movement total. So 1 to get into DD10, 2 to get into CC1.
So why does he have the 5 movement? I mean, he's not moving with the leader.
So CXing gives you an extra, or should give you an extra 2 movement, and I think, I'm pretty sure you don't just go up to 4 if you're conscript. Unless there's a limitation on conscripts going to CX, but I don't think that's the case. So they declare double time. Infantry. Double time increases the movement factor allotment of infantry by 2. Double time leader, blah blah blah. Double time does not allow any additional movement when entering a location whose cost entry is all. Yeah, doesn't seem to be anything for. No, only 7 movement factors total if conscript personnel. 1 extra movement factor is possible if the entire move is along a road, thanks to movement bonus. So yeah, he can go up to 5 total. So 2 to get into CC1, and
Okay.
3 into BB1. Four into AA2. And 5 into Z1. This squad's gonna assault move into CC10.
Uh, hmm. Okay.
One squad, EE2 for 1, DD2 for 2, and CC3 for 3. Second squad makes same move. Cool. These guys will move as a stack. And they only have 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This stack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One squad in X2 will move 1 in Y3. Y4 for 2. And Z4 for 3.
No.
X2, Y3 for 1. Continues Y4 for 2. And we'll stop there. And squad in Z3 will assault move into an AA4. And that's it for movement. Defensive fire.
C8 will fire on CC10.
Okay.
So 2 up 1.
Mm-hmm.
X6 will fire. X6 will fire at X3.
Okay.
Will direct 4 plus 0.5 plus 2, so 6 up
Yep.
1. It's 2 of 1 for the whatever the concealed unit is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 5, which is at a 1 MC for the units that get full firepower, and a normal morale for the unit that gets on the 2 column.
Okay, so broken units first. Morale check. Morale check.
Do you have to do a leader first if it's a leader?
No, because I don't believe he would be applying his thing. But unless you want to check it, I'm fine with checking it.
I thought that was the thing we discovered last time, is that leaders always have to go first.
I'm not sure if that applies on concealed units, is the thing. But I mean, yeah. Let's check this first.
Yeah, let me look. It's all right.
Let's see.
Yeah, whenever a morale check TC is required, leaders must check the 4 other units. So unless they change that in...
But there's no exception for concealment?
I don't know, we'll have to look under concealment. There's no exception in 10.2, which is where I'm looking.
Oh, okay. Well, the first roll was a 7, so he's fine. The top squad is fine. Triggers your sniper though, and would have gotten a -1 anyways. And bottom squad casualty reduces.
Sniper die roll. Nothing. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure. Let me see.
Honestly, whatever. If anything, just make a note of it and check it afterwards. It's not really that big a deal. Because regardless of the sequence, I guess not technically regardless of the sequence, but you're still a dead half squad.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't say anything in concealment about it, but you know, so yeah.
I mean, if there's no exception, I would read it as the leader has to do it first. Yeah.
Z5, I think that is, will fire at these guys.
Okay.
Line of sight looks clear to me. So it's 2
flat.
So that is 1 MC.
Okay, breaks.
Can I fire again if I first fired? Only for machine guns and things like that, right? Or no?
They have to be adjacent.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm done.
Neat. Advanced fire phase. These 3 units will all attack AA6. I4 is good. So that's it's all halved, so it's 6 firepower up 3. Nope. Nope, that's it. Route phase.
Guys in AA6. Well, you got to route first, so.
Only possible route is CC3. Uh, is DD2 a closer range? It is not. So their target is EE10. They can only low crawl, so they have to low crawl to DD2.
And AA6 stays put because they're in a building.
Okay.
They're not technically.
Perfect. Advance phase. Z1 into Z10. So you can stay there. 1 squad into AA5. And CC5 stack will move into BP5.
Can CX units advance?
They can. The only limit is it can't take your entire move.
Oh no! I'm sorry, I misread it. It was they can't assault move. That's you're fine. Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, that's all my moves. No CC. Concealment gain. Does BB5 seize at 8? Yes. So can't. No, no gains.
All right, rally phase. We'll start with my guys.
Weather.
Oh right, sorry.
Wind. We need wind. Damn it.
Nothing. Okay, we will rally the units in that hex. I will have to unconceal him.
Okay.
of the crew. Sorry about that. And the squad also fails.
Try to rally EE10 first. Makes it. And over here, top squad, bottom squad. Top squad casualty reduces. And neither make it.
I think that was it for rally. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to advance if you're not done.
No, it's fine.
Prep fire. V6 and W7 will fire group to fire on W4.
Okay.
So that's 12 halved. So 6 up 1.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. It's halved twice. So.
Oh, yeah, for long range.
Yep. 2 up 1.
So this is what, 3 on 2?
Yep. So K/1. Or no, 3 on 2. Sorry, yeah, that's a 1 on 2.
Or 1 range. Cool. Top, bottom. Top script breaks. So disrupts. Sniper. Oh my god, the sniper. Crazy. So moves into X8. I'm not sure if you can target concealment. I forget if concealed units are applicable targets. I assume they are, but no, I think it's just closest. So it goes to W8, and then if it's a squad, it breaks them, and if it's a SMC, it eliminates them.
Does breaking lose concealment?
Yeah.
Sorry, just pondering for a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Z8 will fire on Z10.
Okay.
So 4 up 1.
Mhm.
So 2 up 1. Which is, of course, nothing. How did this guy use CX?
Yeah, I read it afterwards and was like, oh, because he was in this hex, so he wouldn't have been able to use CX. But I'm gonna keep it on him because that way I'm not gonna forget if I attack with him. I'm not gonna not
Yeah,
have the
that's
+1.
my fault for not noticing it. Sorry.
No worries. It's also why I'm not gonna move that guy next turn, just so because otherwise he'd be dumb. He could have made it to that hex or no, but anyways, yeah. So
Our units do spraying fire. I know the Germans can't, but machine guns can in this still, right?
yeah, yeah. It's just my conscripts can't.
All right, well, let's try it. What do I split the firepower between whatever 2 hexes I'm attacking?
Yeah, and only for the
All right.
machine gun.
So X6, the machine gun is going to spraying fire those 2 hexes.
Okay.
So I think it's what, 2 up 1 for both of them.
The machine gun. Yeah. The AA4 doesn't get a bonus, but the squad in Z4 does.
So it's 2 up 1 and flat for the
yeah.
2. All right, so that's a 4 and a 3. So against the first squad that gets the 4, that's a 1 MC, and the other squad is also a 1 MC. And I think that's my sniper.
Yeah. A Z4 breaks. AA4 breaks. And
Sniper roll.
You don't roll for your own sniper.
All right, sorry. Ignore that.
Well, it's easier to ignore when it's a 6.
Well, if you want, remember that. I'll take that for my next sniper.
No.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all. So.
If anything, I'm just glad you think I'll remember.
The squad will fire at Y4.
Okay.
So they're halved and up 1, I believe, or are they flat? No, those are
Up 1 for the hedge.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 up 1 and nothing. Movement. Wee. Z5 will assault move over into the building.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. DD5 shoots at AA6. 8 up 3. Nothing. Cause them to go DM. I already have one. CC10 will shoot at Z8. This is a 4 up 3. There's also nothing. And that's it for defensive fire.
Don't think I have anybody for advancing fire. Route phase. AA6 stays put.
Mm-hmm.
So W8. I think they can stay put.
Yeah, they're in a building and not adjacent to anybody.
Here's a question. Could I have them route to V6? They can't see anybody on the far side of that building.
Does W8 see? Nope. Nope. Yeah, that's still a technically illegal move.
All right, that's it for my route fit.
Okay. Squad in AA4 has to low crawl to AA3. For Z4, the closest is technically X3. These guys can't shoot, so they must route to X3. And DD2 will continue to low crawl to EE2. That's it for routes.
All right.
That.
Pretty sure no one can see there. Okay, that's it for my advance phase. No close combat.
All right. Weather, no change. W4 can't self-rally, so those are DM. AA3 must keep it. EE2 as well. Gonna rally or attempt to rally the stack in X3, so DM squad first, then middle and bottom. Middle squad rallies, or half squad, I should say. Oh, that guy's already rallied, never mind. And that's it.
All right, let's see if I can actually rally some dudes here. Still have a +4, so aim quite a bit lower. I know I might need, let's see, top to bottom there. No. I believe I lose the DM. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna fire at me and get it right back. So that is
Of course.
what it is. And the squad in V6 does not.
All right, prep fire phase. CC10, shoot at Z8. Up 3. It's 8 on 4 is nothing. DD5 to AA6.
That's a pen test check. That's 7 up 3.
No, that was 8 on 4.
4? Thought you're up 3.
So, oh, right. Sorry. I was thinking +4 for some reason.
And I failed, so we're pinned.
Alright. DD5 into AA6. That's a +3, so that's a normal morale check.
Do they get the DM before or after?
The DM doesn't matter for it only matters for rally.
The squad or the crew fails. Both fail.
And the leader?
He succeeds. I'm sorry, I should have done him first.
Cool.
You want me to do those in order? Because that would be leader, fails, fails, and
Sure, yeah. If you wouldn't mind.
What happens to the crew?
They fail as a result, and so the casualty reduced, and they die. All right. No other shots. Movement phase. Alright, can I declare that without conscripts? Oh, conscript MS here considered green. Oops. Alright, Y4 is going to declare bonsai charge against AA6. Where's my bonsai? So, 1 into Z4. Two into AA5.
Machine gun will open up on them.
Okay.
So 4 down 1.
4 down 2.
It's a 4. 1 morale check.
I think they only reduce. does it make me go into the other spot for it? Wait a minute. Their morale is increased by 1, so that's a pin, and they don't actually pin, so they're fine. Sorry. There's also a 2 residual.
Where do you see that they don't pin? Just out of curiosity.
On the counter itself. So if we look at Bonsai Charge points to Human Wave, so what is that? A 25.23. They lose any concealment and are exempt from heat of battle, patsy checks, and any pin results while they are part of the Human Wave, or technically Bonsai Charge in this case.
Okay, cool.
And then they will continue into the building. Now, I don't think they shoot immediately. Pretty sure that's in the advanced phase. Yeah. This guy in Z10 had to lose his CX. It's not really going to do anything, but still loses it. AA5 is going to assault move into Z5.
Sure, why not? So that's 8 up 3.
Okay.
Everybody else piles on.
Basically. CC3 into BB3 for 1. AA4 for 2. And then Z4 for 3. BB5 will CX, and they will bypass for 1 into AA4 for 2, Z4 for 3, Y4 for 4, X3 for 5, W4 for 6, what is that? And then V3 for 7.
And I believe I can see you there, so I will fire at you.
Yep. It's a 4 down 1.
That's 7. Pin test check.
Leader, squad. The second squad pins. The 9 down 1 leader and the squad with him will CX. Then we'll go to AA4 for 1. Continue to Z3 for 2. Y3 for 3. X2 for 4. W2 for 5. V1 for 6. And U1 for 7. And the stack over there in the back will also CX. DD10 for 1, CC1 for 2, CC2 for 3, BB2 for 4, BB3 for 5, AA4 for 6, and Z4 for 7. My half squad will declare a bonsai, and their target is X6. So they go into X4 for 1. X5 for 2.
We'll fire.
Mhm.
So 8 down 1.
8 down 2 if you're shooting with the squad. Because it's oh, sorry, the orchards nullifies open ground. Yeah, so down 1.
It's not in season. Isn't considered open ground.
No, it's still an orchard hex still makes it not open ground. As far as I recall. Yeah, an orchard has no TM. Regardless of season, it is not considered open ground.
Just flat.
You get a -1 for non-assault movement.
So 8, 7.
So 1 MC? Yeah. Breaks. Pretty sure they break. So it's canceled. There's a... the squad in W4 will go into V3 for 1, and then continue into U4 for 2. And that's it for moves. Defensive fire phase.
Okay. W2 will fire at the half squad there.
Okay.
So 4 flat.
Yep.
V6 will fire at this hex leader, which is what? X3.
Mm-hmm.
That's 8 halved, so 4 of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Leader will direct. 7. That's a pin test check.
Leader, he's not pinned. 2 squads, no sniper, and DM.
Z8 will fire at Z10.
Okay.
So it's 2 up 1.
Mm-hmm.
1 up 1, but nothing. And that's it.
All right. My bonsai charge, so it's a triple point blank fire. I think there's still a +3 though, so it's 6 up 3. Nope. Pretty sure the bonsai charge ends. Oh wait, sorry. I had to keep that on because that'll affect them. Not gonna bother with that. These guys will shoot at T4. There's a +1 for CX, and one of the squads is halved twice. So it's just a 2 firepower shot. 2 up 1. Nope. And fire group here with Z5 and Z4. Z5, it's going to be a +4 overall. Z5 is 8 firepower, whereas the other 2 squads are 4. So, or sorry, it's 8 total. So 8 up 4. Nope. And that's it. Route phase. EE2 continues towards EE1. AA3 continues to AA2. X5 has to route towards X3, so they will low crawl to X4. And that's it for my routes.
The only guys I have are the dudes in the building with the bonsai charge, so I think they have to stay put. Or do they just immediately die right now?
So I think I think a bonsai charge immediately turns it into a CC. So I think it's one of those they'll have to withdraw in the next CC phase.
Yeah. Okay.
Advance phase. Squad and Z5 will advance into Y6. Z4 will both advance, or will all advance into Z5. The squad in U1 will advance into T10. The non-pinned group will move into V2. The leader in X3 will move to W4. And that's it. CC phase. The easier one, I guess technically, will be the entire broken thing. So
So they defend with full firepower, but they're withdrawing, so they don't get to attack.
Correct. I'm fighting at a 1 to 2 because the leader is 1, and I'm pretty sure that squad, yeah, it's a 46. So I'm at a 1 to 2. I'm lax, but that doesn't matter because there's no ambush. What else? I got a -2
There's no
because.
ambush because what, we were broken. And only good units can ambush.
So I don't think there's an ambush if I make it into the building. It's only when you advance into.
Right. You made it in the movement phase. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a couple seconds ago.
I get a -2 for being versus broken unit. You're withdrawing, so that's another -2. Anything else? No, I just have a -4 on it. So CC 8. That's a casualty reduction. So let me just double check to see if that's on the entire group or if that's just on one. Okay, so a random selection, and then whichever one is chosen, they get casualty reduced.
It's just what, 1 DR for that?
Random selection, so one single dice. Yeah, single dice. All right.
Oh, they're both fan-fucking-tastic.
So the leader wounds and the squad becomes a half squad. Well, and the leader takes the wound task thing, the wound check. Sorry. Wound severity die is just 1 dice. If it's a 5 or 6, he's dead. If he's a 1 to 4, yeah, he's just injured.
So I think we're not dead, so I think we get to withdraw. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we gotta leave the machine gun there.
All right. Then we've got Y6. Now that will have a ambush dice, so single die. All right, cool.
Oh, great.
I will take it. Yeah. All right. So I get an ambush. It's a 1 to 1. I get a -1 to my roll. That's it. CC 6. No. Melee it is. And that's it for CC. Take off my pins. Does anybody gain concealment? U4 gets concealment. And that's it. Or can anybody see T10? I don't think so. They also get it. Unless CX status prevents them, but I don't. I'll look it up while we're doing other stuff. But that's it for my turn.
So when do I roll for reinforcements?
So the first thing you need to do is you place them on where they're going to enter, and then you roll for them to see if you get them. Because if you the dick move, if you ever want to pull this against somebody who's not paying attention, it's super fun if you can. if you're playing against somebody and they don't set up their reinforcements at the essentially the start of the turn after weather, I think it's after weather. You'd have to check the advanced sequence of play. But if they don't position the reinforcements at the proper time, they don't get their reinforcements for that turn. It's only
Well,
something
the
you really
rules.
do during like rules lawyering shit, but I'm gonna go grab myself a drink while you're thinking about your setup there.
Yep, go for it.
All right, I'm back.
So the advanced sequence of play contradicts itself.
Let's see here.
All right, so looking at the start of rally phase, 1.11 says roll for any provisional SSR reinforcements, which would I believe include these particular things, and then it says set up off-board all forces to enter. However, the rules for setting up off-board, A251, say that it must be the first thing you do. So if I roll for the reinforcements, that is technically before setting up those things. So yeah, if I want to be super picky, we'd have to flip those around.
So the only reason why I would read it the way that it's written in the advanced sequence of play is because it's possible you wouldn't get them, and if you don't roll the number to get them, then you wouldn't set them up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the way the advanced sequence of play reads is fine, but I'm just saying the way the rules are written, it says that you have to put them first thing. They have to be the very first thing you do in the rally phase.
Right,
So,
right.
so I don't know. Are you cool with me just rolling for
Oh,
reinforcements?
yeah, it's not. That's not an issue.
Okay. So here goes my die roll for that, and yes, they come in this turn. Good. Now, vehicles are weird. They have to be pointing at the hex spine, right? Or at a
Yeah.
vertex?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the way the graphic is pointing.
Yeah, they always point towards, or they always move towards the corner that is technically the firepower slash like their whole side. So yeah,
So do I have those guys positioned correctly here?
yeah, it looks like it.
And they can drive into basically either of the two hexes in front of them if I'm
Yeah,
remembering.
yeah, basically so that like you can simulate like small turns or whatever, rather than forcing you to spend like the majority of your time turning a vehicle.
Well, I'm a little bit confused about the Russo Balts, the trucks. They
Hmm.
apparently have a two firepower machine gun that's mounted on one side,
Yes, and then you have to,
and
yeah. So you're basically you have to put a turret counter to signify what side the gun is on. It's basically like one guy in the armored car, and he's like sticking the gun out from one of the two sides.
yeah, so that's the problem is I could not find the proper turret.
Oh, let's see here.
If you can pick out where they are, I will happily put them on.
Turret type. No. Then, but nope.
They're P/S, so I don't know if that matters. Oh,
Oh,
that's
so the
Portal.
P the P slash S might be because it's a custom counter. Um, but we'll just use these because one, it's way easier, and we know what it's supposed to be about. There, I'll just make a bunch. There.
Since I'm just going to put them on top, I'm not really going to try and keep the gun pointed in the proper direction. We'll just know that it's port and starboard, so left and right, depending.
Oh yeah, sure. If anything, just like if it's port or if it's starboard, then just can yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna, I don't want to try and have to try and rotate it around to actually
No.
represent it or not. So if you're all right with just having the P or the S indicate which direction it's going, that's
Like, yeah. Besides, like even if you did have it on, those counters can rotate. So the only problem I think is it's a different rotate button, which is kind of dumb. Oh no, they
well,
can use the other one. Sweet. Normally turrets have to use S or A instead of Z or X, which is a little annoying.
yeah. I mean, I would normally do it, but since these guys are basically it's either one side or the other,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was all that worth it to try and keep the
Nah, it's
the
not a big deal.
counterpoint in the right way. Oh, and all my vehicles are in motion.
Yep. God, it bugs me looking at these counters, the turret ones, because like they're so fuzzy when zoomed in.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very hard. That I couldn't get any real decent high res scans off of the counter sheets. So like the
Oh
truck
yeah,
counters are also like
yeah.
crazy unreadable.
That's fine though, considering like how do I did I ever get a physical version of this? I don't think I did. Um, yeah, that'd just be like having to mobilize like one old fogey in the community to take a photo or something. It's like I said, I still don't get why like nobody's ever implemented the vehicles.
Well, I mean, there's only what like two scenarios.
Yeah.
They're World War One, so it's like who the hell plays World War One?
I
And
think the biggest
yeah,
culprit is because it comes from the special ops not manuals, magazines, and like they, like other magazines or journals, no offense to multi-man publishing, but they kind of have a shitty track record on like either keeping them in stock or reprints. So like as soon as some of these special ops magazines like went out of print, like that was it. You kind of good luck ever finding any.
so what is the arc on the BMG for the Mansman Mulag, the armored truck?
What's the photo say here? Yada yada yada. BMG may fire while the vehicle is held down, as signified by BMG. It's the hull MG. Um, so how so CMG is always coax. B because they didn't want to use HMG because that would confuse between the two. BMG is always the hull, so it always points towards where the vehicle covered arc is. So, for example, if these two units are pointing towards Y10 X10, then the MG points down that same line, so it kind of goes outwards via.
Yeah, no. It just that I think the gun is technically mounted in the back. That's why I was asking because I didn't know if it had some wacky like rear arc where I had to like
Oh
drift
no no.
around to try and find the people. Okay, all right, then I'm not gonna. That can't move. There's no turret on it, so I'm not gonna bother putting the counter on there. All right, cool. Rally.
Rallies. Did you roll for weather?
I did not. Sorry,
Damn.
nothing. Why are you so eager for weather?
Sometimes you get wind. If something ends up burning, like a vehicle, then it'll generate smoke, and then that smoke can do stuff.
Right.
There's no
You're just
overcast, so there's no lightning strikes possible today. But
well. I just want to point out that my guys are pretty fragile. Like, I'm not sure if you realize it, but I can't go off the road essentially.
yeah, but I mean, they also do have some armor, so it's not all roses and whatnot.
Yeah, but like they get immobilized easily if I'm reading that small arms immobilization check correctly.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, provided it's whatever on the vehicle kill chart and whatnot.
Yeah. So anyway, it will be interesting to see what happens at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, rallying. I believe I'll start with these guys. I don't have anybody to self rally at this point, so well, technically the leader, I guess, is self rallying, and he will fail. The unit under him will similarly fail. The unit in V6 fails to rally. I think that's it for my rallies.
W4 rallies. I don't think I have anybody else that can. No. AA6 will attempt to get the gun. He gets the machine gun. And that's it.
Okay. V6 and W7 will fire on W4.
Okay.
So 12 halved, 6 of 1.
Mm-hmm.
8, which is a pin test check.
Leader first. Leader pins, but squad is fine.
X6 will fire at AA6, just the machine gun.
Okay.
So 4 up 3.
Mm-hmm.
Are crews considered multi-man counters?
Yes. Yeah, multi-man counter is anything that essentially anything that isn't a leader because it's more than one.
Yep. And the leader will direct the squad to fire at the
X3?
no, X4.
Oh, okay.
So that's 4
Flat.
flat. Nothing. Z8 will fire at Z10.
Okay.
So that's 4 up 1.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I think that's it. Sorry, this is going to take me a little bit.
Yeah, no worries.
T4 will assault move into T5.
Okay.
V7 will move into V8 for 1.
For 1, they will lose their concealment. As they move into U9, I will shoot at them. So it's a 4 up 3. 8 on 4. I think it's a pin test check.
Should it be up 4? Your CX.
Missed. It's no up 3 because you're using non-assault movement. It's a miss anyways.
I mean, it's a stone building, so it's
Plus 3. I have a CX which gives me a +1.
So
I have a -1 for my leader.
Oh, didn't realize you had a leader there.
And there's the -1, so that's a pin test check.
Sorry, just looking through some stuff here.
Anyways, I'm just like suddenly perplexed by a thing on the counters. The Russo Bald armored cars don't have radios, but for whatever reason, the Monsman Mulag does. That's very weird.
It is. So I think that means that the Russo Balts have to be in a platoon, but the truck can move on its own. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, it's very strange.
So is the hex off-board considered a road hex? Is the question.
Yeah, you continue to from what the board looks like. So if it crossed 2 hexes, then you'd consider both hexes to technically have road. In this one's case, I would treat the hex that they're currently on as being a road versus the under one.
Yeah. So okay. So that 1/2, I believe.
If they're not buttoned up, yes.
I don't believe they can be buttoned up because they don't have a turret.
No, there's still a status. So right now they would be considered open, but there will be things that then changes that to button up. So just FYI, I guess.
So we'll do that.
Yeah, sure.
So that's 1/2. 1,
Okay.
1.5.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Two and a half. I believe this guy has to make an a normal task check.
Melee is not good order.
Is it? Okay. Four and stop.
Okay. V3 has to roll a task check. They don't pass. They pin. Z5, the top squad, bottom squad. So the bottom squad, technically battle hardens. The top squad has to break. Oops. There. And as they stop, the 447 will shoot. It's the LOS on that. That clips. And a nothing.
So just to clarify for me, when you fire at me, what are we looking at?
So it's just a really annoying side table. So because I'm just using IFT, there's technically no to hit. It's factored into the IFT roll. Normally, so this is all for hypothetical purposes, but we'll assume I have a gun, like an anti-tank gun in CC9. So let's say you stop, my anti-tank gun in CC9 shoots. So I do a 2 kill or a 2 hit roll. You apply any modifiers, like if it's a small vehicle or not. Thankfully, it's already programmed in. If the white dice is lower than the colored dice, it's a hull hit, and the reverse is true. On a tie, I think it defaults to hull, but I forget. Um, in any case, then what you have to do is you calculate the caliber of the gun, the distance to the target, and what the potential armor would be for the vehicle. Then you roll on the 2 kill table. You apply some modifiers, and depending on what the final 2 kill number is, you get a result. So it could be that the vehicle explodes in violent, fiery fashion. It could just uh, blow up and be a wreck, or you can get a couple extra things like um, the crew is fine. You get a shock effect, you get an immobilize effect, etc. For the purposes of a unarmored vehicle, um, you have to calculate on the what's called the vehicle IFT number, and I'm trying to find where specifically, because I know in the charts I can find it, but it always escapes me when I'm trying to find this in the actual rule set. Um, where did I see it in the charts here? KIA equals eliminate B28 D52. I don't know why I went to that. Oh, that's something else. Conditional, probable hits, location, vehicle hits. Alright, if I look at the chart, for the IFT chart, so, okay, so this makes more sense. So, let's say the group in Z5, I was just shooting 4 firepower. So, if we look at the 4 firepower column, at the top of the column is the vehicle star number, so it'd be 5. So, if after all dice roll modifiers, I think if you're stopped, you're not in motion. Uh, I think size might count. I'd have to double check. And if I rolled a 5 or less, then it would have whatever the effect is in the notes. Small arms versus treated as a hull hit. And IFT plus a 1 DRN. Okay, so I might just get a plus 1 DRN. And because the kill number is a 5, so if I got a 5 or less, yeah, the vehicle immobilizes. That's essentially what it's saying. I just kind of wish there was a. I don't think there's anything that like you can point to immediately in the rules. I always forget where it is. And it doesn't help that it's an armored fighting vehicle affected by unarmored vehicle effects. So it kind of messes with you. And then on the flip side, because they're crew exposed, if I had actually been able to shoot at you and not be blocked by line of sight, then the that dice roll also affects, or should also affect, the crew because they're technically exposed, which would then force them potentially to stop and button up.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, because it just says in D1.21, an unarmored vehicle is recognizable by the presence of 2 stars. It's not the case in this one, but that's kind of why there's armor factors and then they both have stars next to them. AFV can be treated as unarmored vehicles versus certain types of attacks, yada yada yada. Technically, that only looks at minefields, and Deep 5.31 is unprotected crew, which will likely come into play, but isn't necessarily a factor right now.
Okay, and I am missing where I can choose to button up. Do I have to do that at the start of move?
So you can button up whenever you want, I believe. You basically just declare it. D5.2, an inherent vehicle or armored vehicle, blah blah, must be either as being either crew exposed or buttoned up. Any closed top or not topped by CE counters considered buttoned up. An open top AFV is always considered crew exposed unless beneath a button up shock or stun counter. A CE counter being on top of a closed top allows it to use AAMG. An open top AFV must be CE to use any weapon other than a bow mounted MG or flamethrower. I like how it doesn't even state, like, oh, this is how you button up or not. BU, D2. Right, D5.33. Vehicle CE counters may be placed or removed only during the owner's movement phase or advance phase, but may not be both placed and voluntarily removed or vice versa during the same phase. So, since you started CE, if you choose to go button up, you can't then go CE later in the same movement phase.
Okay, we will get to where we are, and then we will button up.
Okay.
So, shit. They are not considered open top, correct? Correct.
No, they should be. I think anything with a white background is considered open top. D1.1.23. An AFV whose entire overhead depiction is printed on a white background is an open top AFV. So I think all of you guys are. Oh no, wait. The armored cars are not, but the truck is. That's the difference.
Okay, so he cannot actually fire his BMG unless he is crew exposed.
The hull MG he can. It's the other weapons that he would not be able to.
Yep. Okay.
Unless it was CMG, but I'm pretty sure it was BMG. Other than a bow mounted, yeah. So BMG is fine.
All right, so these guys are all buttoned up, and they are doing platoon movement, so they have to move together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, start of it, so we kick off the motion. And they move. So I believe that's 1 because they are buttoned up.
Yeah, but they don't move in the same hex. Is the thing. It's like it's like the infantry platoon movement we were doing in Breakout with the Germans versus the French. They can't both. So they both can't occupy the same hex at the same time. So if you're doing platoon movement, it's okay. Now I need to move. I'm moving both of them 1, both of them 2, both of them 3, and etc. They can't. They don't take the same location. Unless I've completely misunderstood something about tank stuff.
So they, at the end of each impulse, but not during the impulse, and when called for by each rules, each AFE in the platoon must be adjacent to or in the same hex as another AFE of the same platoon, have LOS to that AFV, and share the same stop non-stop motion status, including forward and reverse movement with all their platoon members.
Yeah, I think the reason why I'm thinking this is because D2.14. A vehicle must pay 1 additional MP/MF if it's a wagon per wreck or vehicle in a hex, regardless of nationality, to enter that hex. This penalty is doubled to 2 MP per wreck or vehicle in the hex if the hex is entered via a road hexide while using the road movement rate. So basically, if those two are moving together in the same hex, then they have to pay extra. They each have to pay one extra, is what I take from it. But I know there's also a thing that says if two vehicles end in the same hex, something like there's a bad shit happens to one. I just gotta try and remember it or find it, anyways.
Okay, yeah. Let me back up then if it's alright with you.
Yeah, that's fine. Still growing pains on vehicles.
So they're gonna platoon move. They're set up the way they're set up.
Mhm.
So 1,
Mm-hmm.
2,
Mm-hmm.
3,
Mm-hmm.
4,
Mm-hmm.
5,
Mm-hmm.
6, 7,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's an interesting question.
Okay.
I think, if I'm reading the SSR rule correctly, every time that occurs, you have to make that check.
Every time what occurs? If they're
Every
still
time.
so it's the rule is if they're in good order, and if it's a 4-3-6. Good order unpinned 4-3-6. So the leader is fine, but the 4-3-6 turned into a 4-4-7, so they don't take it anymore.
Yeah, no, they're okay. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
They
happens
keep
multiple
taking
times.
it. So if anybody's pinned, it's like okay, you just hang around them and you just next turn they have to go through the whole rigmarole again.
So that was 7th there, I believe.
Yeah.
That's 9.
Mm-hmm.
10.
This group with the 4-4-7 will shoot at the Y3 or Y5 guy.
Okay.
So it's gonna be doubled halved to 4 with a +1 at least from the CX. All right. Now let's see if there's any other modifiers here. Fire attacks versus armored targets and or unarmored vehicles. All non-ordnance direct fire attacks versus unarmored vehicles or horse counters are resolved on the star line using the same IFT dice roll for any personal target in the same location. Not applicable here. That was a turret hit, so it's not a hull hit. I'm pretty sure it's not a hull hit.
I think you just immobilized the vehicle.
So I think I don't think I got a hull hit, so I don't think it did. But let's double check here.
No, you did because you equaled the kill number, right? Kill number is 5.
No, but so there's two types of hits. There's a turret hit and a hull hit. That's why it mentions it specifically. What's the number? Come on. Location of vehicular hits. If the colored dice roll is an ordnance versus a vehicle strikes its turret up superstructure aspect, if the colored dice roll is less than the white dice roll. In this case, it is, so it would technically be the turret. So it does not immobilize um, the vehicle. However, um, that will.
Okay, I'm really confused right now. How can my vehicle be armored and unarmored at the same time? Before
So
we were talking about this, you said it was an unarmored vehicle, so that would seem that 7.308 would apply. But
so
you're
the
reading as if 7307 is applying. Yeah?
the reason is because it applies to the armored car as well as the Monsum and Mulag, but it's why they have zero and star. It's to signify that the stars that the vehicle can still be immobilized because of it uses just tires, right? Which is also why it specifically states that an immobilization can only happen on a hull hit. So right now my guys are shooting at the vehicle, but they're dumb and all they're doing is they're shooting at the turret rather than having the leader be like, "Hey, you freaking morons! Y'all need to shoot at the wheels." And
And
your guys
your
are
guy,
not crew exposed, so I don't believe there's any effect that can happen on them. Um, and can there be anything else? A7, leave residual. No, so technically I can leave residual for for anything else that goes through there, like the other vehicle if it does. But otherwise, yeah, otherwise they are fine.
okay. Well, they're going to turn as well, so that I believe that's a moving point.
Yeah,
So we're at
it's actually
11.
oh, you know what? That's also something I think we might have been messing up, but that's okay.
But
So the other thing too is because they are. Wait, are they seriously given? That doesn't make sense. They're given fully tracked? Really? That's funny. That is very interesting and funny at the same time. Because they're armored cars. They either that's a misprint on how they designed it, or someone screwed up somewhere. Um, yep, someone must have screwed up there. That's funny. So the reason why I'm saying these things is because so vehicles have different types of movement. Um, so I'll just pull out pull out this guy. Work car. We'll pull out this guy. And do I have half track? Sweet. So in the top right corner of each of these vehicles, you can notice that there's a different symbol for each. So fully tracked vehicles have the oval, a wheeled vehicle only has the circle, whereas a half track has both. And the reason why this is messing me up is because as non-tracked vehicles, they should not have an oval, but I guess either they didn't think about it or they thought that was the best way to execute that. Because usually how it works is uh, they should have the movement point cost of like to enter a location as an armored car. You're not doing anything wrong. So don't get the impression that that's what I'm saying. Um, it's just kind of funny that like they didn't think about it that way.
They probably meant to give them truck movement instead, and it just kind of blended together into fully tracked.
Yeah, I don't know because there's nothing. The page doesn't say that they use truck movement either. It just says like it's just the oval. I forget does the D1 a vehicle classified as a truck for movement purposes double white circles figure eight. Now the question is does the resolution on this thing allow me to see? You know what? That might actually be a double wheel on the on that scan I sent you. It doesn't look like it at all on the Russo Balt one because the 15 blocks it. But on the Mansman Mulag, it looks like it is a curved eight. Um, Now you've been on the road, so it doesn't matter. So at the very least, at least we'll be fine for that for now. Um, but moving in open ground will be 4 movement points. I'm surprised they didn't even give him the 3 for armored car, but okay, whatever.
I'm not. I'm turning to follow the road. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. You're fine.
Yeah, that's what, one extra move point.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the only question I would have is residual fire and if that continues, if that's allowed to shoot you again. Um, Yeah, thereafter, any unit entering or expending movement factors or movement points in the same location is attacked again. So, if you turn, you then take a 2 firepower attack. Low odds, obviously, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah, no. So the vehicle behind it will definitely get it. Hold on one second here.
Oh, hey, Doug got back to me.
So that's 11.
Okay.
So to do your residual attack, It is considered a moving object. I don't know what it's in motion, so you get that modifier for it.
Yeah. No effect.
$12.
No effect.
Sorry, I got to zoom in. I was grabbing the wrong thing. My bad.
No worries.
$13.
No effect.
Roll for the 436 over there.
436. Task check. He breaks.
And I think the pin guy has to roll as well.
No, because he's pinned.
Ah, good order, right.
Yeah.
So that was 13. $14 and stop. So 15.
Z10 will shoot at him at Y3 as they stop.
How is he already a 447?
Because as he moved into Y3, you're a location 3 hexes within. I rolled the task check and it was below.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see the task check.
Yeah, no worries. The attack does nothing, but does the 2 residual.
I have to adjust these guys for the same reason. I'm going to nuke this one because I've managed to throw a turret on it, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can always do you can always just do hit back a couple times. The other thing too is that the usually the turret only shows up when you do turret covered. But if you change it back, it disappears. It's only the one difference is if the turret is a crew exposed turret, that's what kind of messes with it not disappearing.
Yeah, I don't want to, confuse myself.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so we'll move. God damn it. There.
Thank you.
Perfect.
One.
Hmm.
2.
Okay.
3. 4. Sorry, that's 4. and 5 to stop.
Okay.
That's weird.
When does residual clear? Now?
End of the move phase. Oh, yeah, so. Sorry, I didn't realize you were in defensive.
Sorry.
Alright. DD5 into AA7. It's just a flat 8. 1 morale check. 6 on 8. Yeah, 1 morale check.
Leader. End. Squad dies.
AA6 will shoot at X6. It's 8 up 3. Nope, and breaks that. CC10 will shoot at Z8. Nope. And that's it. Oh, whoops. There.
So if the Russo bolts, the side-mounted machine gun has a firepower of 2, and the CMG has a firepower of 2 as well, correct? Both front and rear.
For the Russo Bolt. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like dash S2 and then slash 2R2, I believe.
Yeah, so the the dash is 2 or whatever. Well, it's 2 firepower, and R2 is just rear 2 firepower.
So it's only got the side and the rear then. Is that what I'm reading?
No, you should have a front as well as a side and a rear. Unless I'm mistaken on something. Yeah, no, there's a front and a rear, and as well as the side.
Okay. So let's start with the big truck. So W6 will fire at Z5 there,
Okay.
and do the coax as well as the main gun.
Okay.
4 halved, so 2 up 3. Does that seem right?
You still need to do when you're firing ordnance. If you're firing the main gun, it's a 2-hit.
Oh, right.
If you're firing the MGs, it's you apply DRMs, but it's straight to the IFT.
So that'd be a 1 up 3 on the IFT.
It'd be 2,
Ordnance.
wouldn't it?
What?
Isn't it a
You're
2?
You're in a stone building, aren't you?
Yes, but the machine gun is it should be a 2 on it.
Yeah, but it's halved because it's advanced fire.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because I'm assuming they can't,
Let me double check, because I think it's more for vehicles. It's more of if they moved or if they're currently moving and whatnot. If they're in motion,
No. They're
it's
definitely have. They're stopped, so they're not in motion. So they're
okay,
stopped.
so I don't believe it's
They're
half.
halved.
No.
Yeah, they are. I think.
Hold on. Let's double check this. CMG.
Advanced fire phase stopped. MG is half firepower. Ordnance is B or C.
Oh, then I'm probably thinking of purple one. All right.
So yeah. I mean, we'll roll it just cause declared it. All right, so the MG is a 1 up 3 and nothing. Now the ordnance.
Yeah, now we're in the 2-hit chart territory. That's when things start getting real fun.
Yeah. So the to hit process. All right, we're in the covered arc. So the question is it infantry or area? I believe it's infantry, correct?
It would be infantry unless you choose to do area fire. I will be a jerk to you, though. You declared it. Remember how I couldn't shoot at you because the line of sight was off? So you roll your 2 hit to see if anything happens to the gun, but you won't shoot the
Yeah,
target.
no, that's cool. That's cool. Well, let us see. X8 will fire at Z6.
With the starboard machine gun there?
Yep.
Okay.
And that does clear the building.
Yep. It's a 2 up 3.
I believe I could fire at multiple targets. Yeah, or do I get a penalty? What's the deal with that?
So under normal circumstances, how it would work is you'd pull out one of these, and each one that you would eventually shoot, basically you identify it as something else. So the rear machine gun can shoot at a target, the AA machine gun can shoot at a target. They can all shoot at different targets, they can shoot at the same, provided they're all within the same covered arc, etc. I think if you go into unit, is it vehicle? Fire. Where is it? Yeah, so if you go into unit fire, on the bottom you have the one that has multiple selections. There's one for defense fire and technically prep fire, advanced fire. There used to be one as well. Maybe they got rid of them, where you would have it marked for each individual one. The only thing to mention would be, so for example, your W6. Um, if you were able to see Z5 after you shot, unless you break the gun, you would get what's called an acquisition marker. So one of these. Basically, what it means is that every subsequent shot, you get a -1 because the crew is now more capable in targeting that one unit or that one group of units or whatever. Now, the one exception to this is if you use your main gun on the Monsmula vehicle, and then you decided to use the MG to shoot at, I don't know, these guys in Y6, you lose the acquisition. If you move, you also lose the acquisition, unless you have a stabilized gun, but that's not till like 1943, 44.
Yeah, I don't think we got to worry about that here.
For a while,
okay.
yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of fire out of these two front cars because the forward machine gun is going to be firing here.
Mm-hmm.
The port machine gun is firing here,
mm-hmm.
and the rear machine gun is firing here.
Yep. So you just make your shots individually as they. The one thing to keep in mind too is that vehicles cannot fire in group.
Yeah, no, I'm doing them individually. So yeah. All right, so we'll start with this unit here.
Okay. Is it Y3 or Y4 that's shooting?
Y3 we'll start with.
Okay.
So Y3 firing here. I believe it's 1 up 2, 1 up 1.
Yep.
Nothing. Port against this guy. 1 flat.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Nope.
And the rear against the house is 1 up 3. Nothing. Shall I put down acquisition counters?
You can't gain acquisition on machine guns.
All right. So Y4 will do the same routine. We will start here, then go here, then go here. Okay.
Okay. There's a +2 for shooting at Z10 because the other vehicle in Y3 acts as a hindrance.
Okay. So +2.
Yeah.
So that shot's wasted because I don't think I can do anything. So we'll roll for sniper, I guess, is the only thing that can be activated.
If you get a criticals, do you double on? No, I don't think you can critical on MG infantry fire. So you can still roll to see if you get an effect if you want to shoot. I'm just letting you know in advance because first time with vehicles, so each vehicle incurs a +1 hindrance.
Yep. Okay, so nothing there. Firing on V3. Nothing. And firing on Z4. Also nothing. So I think that's everybody.
Okay.
I think the leader is dead.
Trying to think. Can
It can't
technically
go here. That's closer to that guy.
hold on. Let's draw that. Yeah, you can see him barely. I'm just trying to see if he can surrender or if not. Because technically he's not in open ground, so I don't think he's forced to surrender. Oh, God, I always picked the wrong one.
I mean, he may not be forced to surrender, but I think he is forced to route, and I think that he cannot route, so therefore he is.
Yeah.
So he's off the board either way, I guess is what I'm trying to get across.
Well, so if he surrenders, he can stick around with the squad there. But if because he's not in open ground, I think that's the difference. So yeah, he's eliminated for failure to route. That really only shows up in those two spots.
Yeah, I think that's it for me in terms of routing.
All right. My routes. EE1 continues into EE10 finally. The broken squad in X4 will route into W4. Z5 will move to AA6. And V1 or V2, I believe they have to route to V10. Now, the one thing I need to double check is some line of sight stuff. Okay. All right. So for V2, the guy has to route because he's in open ground. The closest is V10 in movement factors, so he has to go there. Or at least that's his initial destination. Now V2 cannot see U9, so they're fine in that respect. So they move to V1, and I believe they have to take interdiction from this vehicle. And since I'm having the leader go with because, so you take a morale check, and the half squad or the squad turns into a half squad. I need to check to see what the effect is on the leader. Interdiction. It's a voluntary weapon, I think. Oh wow, that's dumb. I would not have chosen that then. He's eliminated. That's dumb. And he makes the V10. And that's it for routes. Do you want to end it here for the night? I think it's a good stopping.
Yeah, let me do my advanced phase. I don't.
Oh
think I
yeah,
have
yeah.
more, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
They will advance there. Close combat. Why don't we just finish off the turn and then we'll call it? That's cool with you?
Oh yeah, sure. So close combat. We're both at a 1-1.
Yep. So 5s.
Yep. See who reigns supreme.
Not me. Probably you.
6.
Oh.
Damn it. So close.
Still locked in melee.
Alright, flip German turn 4, and let's save this.
Melee phase, and I think the pins go away. Yeah.
Yeah. And game save. Perfect. Oh man, we're progressing on this one. That's nice.
Crappy Russian rifles.
Hey, look, I think we're both absorbing quite a few blows. I mean, all my broken guys over at the bottom there, losing our leader because had I fucking remembered that they die on an interdiction, I wouldn't have routed them. But oh well. Be interesting to see how this goes. All right.